We're meeting some hotly anticipated new characters in today's episode of Rings of Power, so our trivia questions, polls, and minigames are fittingly history-based.
Well, we are the historical fiction faction, JJ.
Exactly. Okay, if everyone has Rings of Power Season 2, Episode 4 open, I think we can get started. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go. And everyone, if the Prime Video logo didn't start right away, you can click Sync to TV below as soon as you see it to resync. So to start the show, we have a trivia question that'll help us remember the many characters and storylines of Season 2 so far. We're asking you fans to name the characters that appear in this recap. You can guess as many characters as you're able to, but if you're in a multiplayer game, guess fast. If another player guesses a character before you, you can't get points for it anymore.
If you want to start a multiplayer game, whether it's in person, everybody like in your living room, or whether you're using maybe the in-game video chat, we've linked a video on the confirmation screen that you'll see pop up when you click multiplayer, and it'll tell you everything that you need to know.
I love these types of questions where you're competing against each other. I mean, I would definitely love it more if I was like a total Lord of the Rings head like Keith is, but you can't win them all. But I'm actually starting to get it.
Ooh, exciting. Well, since you say that, and Keith, you're also in this, do you have a favorite character so far this season? I mean, there's a lot to choose from, so if you need a second, I can.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't wait to see Isildur take center stage again because he's such a huge part of the canon. His relationship with Estred, once again, returning to that theme from the beginning of touching the darkness so you can see the light. It really speaks to the core messages of the show.
Mm. I have a soft spot for him too, but I'm watching Arondir personally because his relationship with Theo is so complex and well done. And I'm just hoping that they're going to be able to see eye to eye a little bit better as the season progresses.
Yeah, no, that's so fair. And those are both really great characters, all the ones that you listed. Fans, we hope you were paying attention because that's 4 characters right there you can use for this question. Unfortunately, time is up, so we hope that you got some of the 15
So, what
characters
about
that
you,
were
JJ? You
featured
didn't say
total.
anybody.
Oh, well, I mean, I think the Galadriel takes the cake for me personally. I'm really liking her character arc this season. It feels like she's starting to mature a little bit more, sort of learn about the world. And also, Morfydd Clark does a great job of portraying her in season 1 and all of her changes. Elrond might give her a run for her money, though. I'm not sure.
I think that it's about time for her to mature because she's like 2,500 years old. It's like time to grow up.
Come on. You've passed your midlife crisis.
Well, if you're still looking for characters to fall in love with, this episode, as we shall see in a moment, is called Eldest after a famous Lord of the Ring character who's called the Eldest, and he finally made it to the silver screen in this show because I left him out of the movies.
How dare they? Well, fans were asking you if you know who that character is. Is it Treebeard, Tom Bombadil, Círdan the Shipwright, or Anarion, Isildur's brother? You can select your answer from the options in the playable widget window below, and we'll reveal the answer in just a few
I
seconds.
actually think I know the answer to that one. I love the variety of fantasy names. You've got Círdan, Galadriel, Gilgalad, and then you've got Treebeard and Tom. So I'm wondering, like, is there going to be a Jeff and a Stone Rock?
Well, yeah, Tolkien did all this on purpose. That they're not like different sounding by accident. And
Mm.
yeah, I think Stone Rock. That sounds like a maybe that's like a troll name. Oh,
or an MMA
Troll
fighter.
Rock. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and time is up on that trivia question. If you said that Tom Bombadil was the eldest, you'd be correct. Okay, and also, we are going to take a moment to introduce our first prediction activity for this episode. That's right. In addition to new characters, we're also going to meet some exciting creatures this episode. But we're asking you fans how many you think there will be. Just one, or maybe 2, 3, or 4. Select your answer down below, and we'll reveal the right answer at the end of the episode.
So one of the creatures that we meet is actually a creature that was left out of the original Lord of the Rings trilogy. And all my fellow fans out there know what I'm talking about.
Oh, you got to tell me. Is it like a scary beast or is it something cute?
Listen, Trish, it's me. It's a scary beast, of course.
Naturally. Come on.
Ruh-roh.
Oh.
So right now, Elrond and Galadriel are preparing to go to Region with a small squadron of elves to warn Celebrimbor about Sauron.
That's true. But fans, we're asking you if you know where Elrond and Galadriel are leaving from, or where they just were a scene ago. Type your answer down below in the playable widget window, and we'll reveal the right answer in just a few seconds.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh. I think that's or.
Oh.
Oh. I don't wear a lot of jewelry, Trish. Do your rings talk to you sometimes? Maybe earrings would be better.
Yeah, I only have a ring every few years.
I don't know. Sometimes my jewelry talks to me. It says, "Wear me,
buy me." It's mostly
You
when
are.
it's still sitting in the store.
It's saying, "You are a gold person, not a silver person." That's true.
Yeah.
Good point.
Oh, and time is up on that trivia question. The answer is, of course, Grey Havens. All the ships.
Ouch. I love the fact that they say lieutenant.
Same. Yeah. Well, a fun fact about that. So, if you don't know, lieutenant is basically the British version of lieutenant, as Americans would say, of course. Both refer to a person who takes over in the absence of a captain, but each word has different origins, and we'll talk about that more in the confirmation window below. But it has something to do with, I guess, European country relations.
Yeah. There were issues. I mean, right now, you're like French, English, cross that little river, from each other. They must be the best of friends, but that was not the case when they were fighting over the world. They're like,
No.
They're like Adar's orcs versus Sauron's orcs. It was like not congenial, not collegiate.
No. Unfortunately not.
I love this.
Hey. Well, we watched The Stranger search for Nori and Poppy, and while we appreciate the goats, I think it's time we take a good look at our leaderboard. That's right. We have a leaderboard that will return to throughout the episode, so you can see your points, how you're doing against fans across the internet, or if you're doing a multiplayer game, how close you are to beating your friends.
It's like such a California-looking place. Like, we ran out of budget. Good New Zealand. What about in Bob's backyard? He's got a big backyard. He's probably going to want us to put the goat in again.
No, let's just put it into the story. It'll be easier. Actually, that's not what it would happen. They would have been like, leave that to the PA. The PA can worry about it. Oh my gosh. It's him. So true.
That's right, Henry. It's Hagrid. You guys with me on that one?
Yeah, I hear it. I can't do it. I'm not even going to try. That's going to be insulting.
All right.
So
he is a magical being, a playful magical being with a blue shirt. Anybody?
I think I know what it is. Trish, do you have an idea?
I have no idea.
His name rhymes with Glom Bombadil.
Glom Bombadil.
Oh.
Glom Bombadil.
Right. That's from his dream.
Ooh, is that another hint to who the stranger is?
Well, it kind of goes in both directions. So yes, it's a hint, but it goes against my theory, so I don't like it.
Ooh.
Because, and I say this every episode, the more clues they present, the more I'm sure that the stranger is Saruman. But what he's reaching for there kind of looks like Gandalf's staff, as you may recall from the movies.
Ooh.
But we may notice he doesn't get it.
That's true. That's true. Well, until the showrunners reveal the answer, we'll have to keep asking you and the fans who you think the stranger is. Is it Saruman? Is it Gandalf, Radagast, or Glorfindel? Writing a new one. I'm not sure when they'll reveal the answer. I mean, maybe this is like a subtle hint that people think it's Gandalf, but it's not. But select your answer down below for who you think it is in the playable widget window, and we'll reveal it eventually.
So I know her due's a little messed up right now, but throughout the season, Nori's like hair is constantly changing. She's got a new thing going now. It's longer, and the acorns and sticks are gone. Oh, Poppy still has her acorns and sticks, but no, Nori doesn't.
Wow, that's big. I mean, I like it. I definitely think the acorns and the sticks gave her like a certain Harfoot character, but also fits with her vibe. Fans, I'm going to turn it over to you. What do you think of Nori's new do? Do you like her season 1 look better? Do you think she's serving more in season 2, or are both equally great? Let us know your answer below in the playable widget window. I've seen people in like Brooklyn who have Nori's haircut.
Yeah, she kind of reminds me of a British girl I dated. She was like, it was like a punk thing.
Oh. Yeah.
I think. Maybe she just didn't want to wash her hair.
Both valid. Both totally fine.
She was very nice.
Which is huge.
Didn't work out. Doesn't mean she wasn't nice. And actually, kind of the hair did bug me now that I think about it.
Now that I've had time to reflect on it and really think about the experience, the hair was a lot.
It's Merry Mac, all dressed in black.
Oh, gosh. Serious. This is serious. But, the name Merry reminds me, of course, of a beloved character from the original trilogy, Merry Brandybuck, of course.
Naturally. And real fans will know that Merry is not Mary's full name, just like this Merry Mac guys isn't either. And fans, that's what we're asking you today. Is Mary's full name Merry Mac as well? Is it Meriadoc? Is it Mirador? Or is it Moonamoo? Select your answer down
Yeah, it's
below.
probably Moonamoo. The way you said it made me think D is the way to go.
Well, fans, let's see what you think his real name is. Select your answer down below. It could be Moonamoo.
By the way, Merry also has a lot of, his hair is also a lot.
That's true. Mary's hair, yeah.
They could start a band.
It's big.
Like a flock of seagulls. They could be like a flock of hobbits.
Flock of hobbits is kind of fun, though. Oh, and it looks like time is up on that trivia question. The grand reveal, the answer is Meriadoc. Oh. Not Moonamoo, but Meriadoc. So, fans, that's it. If you guessed that, congratulations. I would go by Merry Brandybuck, though. That's kind of fun.
Yeah. Like his little friend, Pip.
Pip.
His full name was also very fancy, Peregrine.
Oh.
But everybody called him Pippin.
Pippin. Now, see, this is where I want to live.
Yeah.
It was a hard life, but they loved one another and their little community.
Yeah.
Under the stern rule of their dwell leader.
Yes. We're going to meet in just a second, actually. Yeah. Honestly, though, sometimes you need kind of a stern leader, so that way you can keep sort of everything
Yeah.
together.
Well, that's what we look
and
to
everyone
you
can
for,
enjoy their life.
JJ.
Uh-oh.
The stern hand of rule.
Yes, I'm famously stern.
How are we possibly going to keep the caravan together without you?
I don't know.
Well, we're never going to find out.
No.
So as you can probably logic out, Stoors, which is what these guys are, if we were talking over it, they're another kind of hobbit, but these actually are not the only Stoors that you have met in the Lord of the Rings universe. There's another Stoor who we have seen in the past.
That's true. That Stoor is Sméagol, who later becomes Gollum. Specifically, if you notice remember from the original trilogy, Sméagol or Gollum was a river folk who lived near the Gladden Fields, and grew up in a matriarchal sort of community under his grandmother.
Yeah, she was also a stern dwell leader.
Wow.
There you go.
Oh.
But then, of course, he became Gollum, and
yeah, and then who wants to shop at that store? I've been waiting for that one. Thank you.
That was really good. It took me a second, but
Me too.
oh no. So they think. So Nori says, "Oh, we're with the Dark Wizard."
Right.
Or no, or Nori says, "We're with this strange guy," and they're like, "Dark Wizard? Bye." And they're like,
They're like, you're a wizard, Harry. I love this guy. Skeletor.
Literally. Well, if you want another fun fact, this Skeletor-looking servant of the Dark Wizard actually has a name, believe it or not, despite the similarity in face. It's not Skeletor, it's actually Brânk. And Brânk is played by Yasin Zaitz Ator.
Wow.
I hope that he's a major character because there is a ton of puns on his name.
Climbing up the Brânks. Laughing all the way to the Brânk. He's smelling Brânk. I'll stop. That's mean. Oh. So if this Tom Bombadil looks familiar to you at all, that's because he's being played by the actor Rory Kinnear, and you will know him from a bunch of other stuff, including Skyfall, the James Bond movie, The Imitation Game, that movie about them cracking the code during World War II.
Mm-hmm.
And also an episode of Black Mirror. But if you couldn't place him, it might be because he has an accent going. Fans were asking you what accent Roy Kinnear is using to play Tom Bombadil. Is it Northern English, Scottish, Cockney, or Cornish? Select your answers using the playable widget window down below, and we'll reveal the right answer in just a few seconds.
Does it help to know that it's the same accent that Hagrid uses in Harry Potter?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well then, there you go. There's your hint. Woman. Yeah, Goldberry.
Am I here? It's one of those questions where if I was asked, I'd be like, I mean, I don't know. I thought I was. Oh, and time is up. If you said that Roy Kinnear's accent is Cornish, you'd be correct.
Ooh.
Not related to Greg Kinnear, by the way. Famous actor.
Sadly. That was a cool trick you did with the candles there.
Yeah.
Yum.
I would do that.
That's a handy trick.
Yeah.
Wow.
If only.
Bombadil.
Bombadil. Strom Bombadil.
There we go.
There we go. I feel like that's what's so wild about this lore of the Lord of the Rings universe is like, especially now, it's like you are like, they have like people who were around like when the world was still going, like when the world was like first coming about. That's wild to think about. The things he's seen.
In the book, he always struck me as being kind of tacked on. And I think that they've done a really good job here of making him kind of make sense. You know, he's like, remember, he's before any people, he's before the trees, he's before the stars, he's kind of Middle Earth.
Yeah. Kind of feel. Oh.
Okay, Iarwain. So that's got to be a reference to something, right?
Good instincts. Yes. Iarwain is a reference to Tom Bombadil himself. Specifically, Iarwain ben Adar is Tom's elvish name, meaning oldest and fatherless, which makes sense because he's literally like as old as Middle Earth, if not older.
I don't know why he named his goat that, except to maybe say that Iarwain ben Adar is the greatest of all time.
Exactly. Subtle.
Tom is master.
And if you want to argue with the wall.
Yeah.
Argue with the tree monster. Yeah. I feel like he will be. He'll be good.
Unless he's Saruman.
In which case, I mean, he's still like good skill wise, but then he's bad.
Well, he is the greatest of the wizards until he's the worst.
Oh. Then he should be. Then he's the goat.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
It's going to get violent, isn't it?
Oh, not yet. But again, good instincts. This episode, there will be some bloodshed, some violence. But the question is, how much? Fans were asking you to predict how many deaths there will be this episode. Will there be 2 deaths, 5 deaths, 8 deaths, 10 deaths, or 12 deaths? Let us know your answer in the playable widget window below, and keep watching until the end of the episode.
So, have I told you guys my prediction about the Dark Wizard, who he turns out to be?
No.
I think that he ends up being the chief of the Dark Riders, the chief of the Nazgul. If you remember the movie, like the bad guy who they flew around on a little dragon. Because they do say that he was like a wizard, a neuromancer, necromancer. He's not the necromancer, but he's...
Okay. And he's not so that's not the guy with like the hood on, like the Nazgul who rides the horse. That's not him. That's just one of the Nazgul.
Well, sometimes he's like that.
Oh, okay, everyone. For those of you who are watching Rings of Power on Prime Video without an ad-free plan, you may see an ad in just a second. If you do see an ad, click the sync game button below when your Prime Video ad is over to get everything back in sync. We might show an ad to an hour video, but in the meantime, we'll bring up the leaderboard so you can see how you're doing.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm killing it.
There've been a lot of
Trish?
polls.
Yeah.
And so that's always good for 20 points. Just take it.
And we're back. A creepy forest.
Ooh.
Spooky. God, it's so dark.
The wind did not whisper, Mary, but I am waiting for you.
Mm.
So in a second, that scary beginning is going to come to fruition when we meet the Barrow Wights, which I'm completely hyped up to see on the screen. And as I mentioned earlier, they play part in the Lord of the Rings books. The hobbits are captured and are almost killed by them, but then they're saved by a key character.
I'm very sad we couldn't see that on the big screen. That sounds so cool to see. But fans, we're asking you if you can remember that character that saves the hobbits in this fellowship. Was it Thorin and company, Aragorn, Tom Bombadil, or Gandalf? Select your answer down below, and we'll reveal the right answer in just a few seconds.
We didn't suggest that it was Rosie from the Green Dragon or Bill Fernie from Bree.
We didn't. We can add those as options, though.
Yeah, no, it wasn't them. I'll tell you right. I'll just tell you that right up front.
Wow. Oh, and time is up on that trivia question. If you said that Tom Bombadil saves the hobbits from the Barrow Wights, you would be correct. Yeah.
I missed it.
I also. Did you get that, Trish?
No, I missed it.
No.
Bomb Bombadil.
Bomb Bombadil.
Darn it.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, this is also a scene. I think in the movie there's a part where Aragorn gives the hobbits all these like swords for them, and that was supposed to be what Tom Bombadil did after saving them from the Barrow Wights.
And that it turns out to be critical later on, for the hobbits. I don't want to give it away because it sounds like that's going to be a question.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's a question.
Maybe.
It's not a question today.
Not today. Not today.
Yeah. And they use it to kill the head of the Nazgul.
Oh.
Pippin.
Okay, you guys need to tell me more about these Barrow Wights before they just show up and surprise me here.
Well, they're scary, right?
Okay.
That's the most important thing to keep in mind.
That's true. Well, I mean, and beyond that, now we're scary. Beyond that, the Barrow Wights were created using a mix of digital and practical effects. I think that their domineering stature was created using practical effects, while their creepy glowing eyes were VFX.
Oh, nice.
And the crunching was created by...
How about the squelching? I was curious about that one too.
Ugh. I'm going to say practical. Uh-oh.
In the Silmarillion, there's a lot of magic is created by people singing. Tom Bombadil, in fact, does a lot of singing spellcasting. So when he says earlier, it says it sort of sounded like the wind was singing. Like magic, black magic.
That's good to know. I think that's a good clue into the world and what could happen in each scene.
Oh.
Ruh-roh.
Oh. They look so... The screaming? No. Ugh.
Oh my gosh.
No. Mm-mm. So you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like ashes in a fire, the way that they're like repairing themselves.
Oh.
Oh no.
Lefttenant.
Lieutenant. You can't have the lieutenant absent. She has to be there for when the captain is absent.
She's gonna send him a plate of biscuits to thank him.
Thanks for saving me. Here's a charcuterie board. Oh, gotcha. Well, now that that battle is done, let's take another look at our leaderboard. Important note about this leaderboard, it runs for all of the Rings of Power play-along episodes. Like, it runs throughout them. So if you continue to play, you'll get more points, and you'll become the fan to rule them all. Oh, yeah, Theo was got.
Did he? I can't remember. Did he turn to the dark side? Was he? Oh,
He got snatched by the Ents.
they're pretty wicked.
Which, by the way, we actually, as we'll see later on in the episode, we actually made a mistake in that episode. Because I think when we were doing the death count, we counted the people who died in the Ent attack, and as we'll find out later in the episode, they aren't actually dead.
Ooh.
Oh.
Well, actually, maybe they're not. Maybe there are some people who died.
Definitely some people died.
Yeah.
Somebody got squished.
Oh, yeah, someone got like an axe thrown
Entron.
through them.
Yes.
That was a great scene.
Theo, I hear your mom calling.
No. So rude. She is fresh in the ground. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ooh.
Oh, those are some loud birds.
Yeah. Yeah, they really add to the intensity of the scene. Oh, that's so creepy. And of course, I mean, the simple presence of crows can make any scene foreboding. And to speak to that, fans, we're asking you to guess the name for a group of crows. Type your answer in the widget window down below. I think this is fairly common knowledge, at least in my opinion, so I think you all can get it.
Or is it?
I know. I think I used to know this.
You're like, well, it's a flock of seagulls.
And a gaggle of geese.
All right.
Oh, I'm about to blow your mind.
Oh,
And
I
of
know,
course,
I know.
it's a henway too.
I
Say it.
remember.
Say it.
It's a. Oh, I can't.
It's
Not
a
yet.
henway.
It's about to be done, though.
It's about to be done. And then I'll
It's
show
about
you
to
how
be done.
smart I am when it comes to all things not Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Is it Updog?
Well,
Updog.
okay, time's up on the trivia question. It's not Updog. The answer is a murder. A murder of crows.
Murder of crows.
Yes.
And if you said, "What's up, dog?" What's up, dog?
We'll give you bonus points. So, as you may have missed in the previous scene, Arondir, Arondir, he knows Estrid's
Reindeer.
dirty little secret. Reindeer.
sorry.
He knows Estrid's dirty little secret. She has in
Yeah,
the back of her neck.
I'm curious though, because of course he knows, because he never tells a lie because he's an elf. And of course, if you never tell a lie, then you can tell when people are lying. But I mean, is that really true? I mean, people say that. But do you really think that people who never tell a lie are better at telling liars?
Yeah.
I've never thought about it. I mean, I'm sure the fans would love to chime into this question. Fans were asking you, do you think this idea is true, that non-liars are good lie susser outers? Do you think they can tell better than us? They're worse at it, or they're just the same as everyone else at being able to tell? Or do you just not believe the concept of the question? Do you think it's not possible that someone just doesn't lie? Let us know your answer in the playable widget window.
I've
down
never
below.
lied.
That is a lie.
I've never lied. Maybe just that one time.
Uh-oh. There you go. Oh, yes.
No, your fault.
Yeah.
I told you.
There you
Oh, how
go.
are they going to come back from this?
I have no clue. I mean, couples on Middle Earth have come back from worse, I'm sure. Or maybe not worse, but maybe like just as bad, a little bit better.
It's
But
bad.
fans were asking you, what's your relationship deal breaker in the Lord of the Rings universe? Is it working for Adar and lying about it? Is it not knowing how to use a sword or bow? Is it being cruel or rude to other Middle Earth races? Or is it lacking a sense of adventure? Let us know your answer down below.
Like if you like really loved and cherished somebody, but they were an orc, like how do you introduce them to your parents?
That's true.
Yeah.
Or like if they don't know how to ride a horse and your family is like a or they
Right.
or they like they prefer to stay in one place and you're a hobbit.
Yeah.
You
We
know?
got a caravan.
Exactly.
What if you're allergic to horses and you fall in love with some Rohirrim?
No one's allergic to horses.
No. That's one I'd like to put out there for a trivia question. I think people are allergic to horses. Do you think people are allergic to cats?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I am. Yeah.
Yeah. Why
Yeah,
not horses?
for sure. I just think because
Because horses are so good and so cute.
I think people are allergic to cats and dogs because they're indoors and they get in the vents and then they get in their stuff and they're eating it. But I think because a horse is like a pretty wildish outside animal that you don't face the same issues. You have fresh air.
I wish there was some way that we could find out. I mean, how
Mm.
could we know? Is there some way to look? If only there was like every computer in the world was connected in some kind of world. Anyway, we'll look it up.
That's for
I
after
think you're
hours.
wrong.
Bet you $1.
I'll bet you 2 doubloons.
2 doubloons.
2 doubloons.
By the way, what
2
kind of money
doubloons
do
a
they
shilling.
use? What's the currency of Middle Earth?
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I know. It's tokens.
Wait, that's so good. I'm so mad I didn't get it.
We're going to have to change the point system in the
Oh.
game. And just like, then you could get a certain amount of, you can get tokens and then you can exchange your tokens to buy things.
Oh
right.
my god. That's so good.
I want the potion of not being allergic to horses.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Oh, okay, everyone. Important PSA. If you're stuck in quicksand, listen to what Arondir just said. Specifically, when you're stuck in quicksand, you should lean back to distribute your body weight, avoid moving, and try slow back and forth movements to loosen the quicksand's hold. In short, do exactly the opposite of what Isildur was doing. That way you won't sink deeper.
Mm.
It sort of sounds like recommendations for Sunday morning. I want you to lean back, avoid moving.
Oh no.
That was unexpected.
I was gonna say, I don't know if we have a PSA for that.
It's like, what are you gonna do now?
Well, she's evil, so she could run away.
Yeah, she's free now too.
That's true. But does she have the key for her
Her
shackles?
Yeah.
I don't think she does.
She is good.
She is.
The pretty ones are almost always good. And this is what good gets you, kids. Don't help your friends out.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
I had to get my gun back.
Oh wait, can you come back up? I left an arrow inside. Ad-free Prime Video plan users, we're coming on another ad break. We're gonna show our leaderboards. Some of you may see an ad on our video as well. And when you're done, click the button below to resync yourself.
I don't know if I could eat that.
Oh, absolutely not. No. I mean, if you wash it
hungry
off.
enough.
No, I wouldn't. Let's just say this: I wouldn't eat it in like the Lord of the Rings, like not here and now. I would eat it like today in a modern day restaurant kitchen where you can like wash it off, cook it,
Yeah.
do all that. So,
Not these Sadok burrows.
oh,
So
I love that. Just so we're working with a full bushel. Wait. She just said that Sadok was a store.
yeah.
I thought he was a Harfoot.
Oh, right. He's a Stoor. They're Harfoots. He's not Harfoot.
Wow.
The Suzat.
The Suzat.
So what they just described ought to sound familiar to you. In canon, the Harfoots and the Stoors joined forces, which is sort of what you're describing, JJ. And eventually they settle at a place which is remarkably similar to what we just described as the Suzat that Sadok wanted to find, but they call it something else. That's
correct. And fans were asking you what the name of that home is. Is it Buckland, the Shire, Anduin, or Swanfleet? Select your answer down below. This one, I feel like this one is easy money, right?
I might know it. Yeah.
I think you got it.
I think so.
So by the time of Lord of the Rings, there's everybody like lives together. There's no big distinction like, oh, the Stoors are over here and the Harfoots are over there and the other guys, I can't remember what the other guys are called, but the other guys, you know, everybody's like all kind of hanging out for the most part.
Nice. Well, to answer your trivia question, if you said that they're hanging out in the Shire, you'd be correct. Trish, you got it?
I got 2 today so far.
You are getting it.
I am getting it. I was at 0 for a long time.
We're going to get you a pocket protector.
How many tokens is that going to be?
For the prize bin? It's 20 tokens every time you answer a poll, plus the 2 questions you got right. That's 200 tokens. You got 240 tokens. Wow. You only need 1 to get on the subway.
That's right.
Oh. That's rude.
You know, he seemed like such a nice guy.
Oh, he helped her up a little bit, right? After he just punched her.
Yeah.
I'll Brânk you.
Oh no.
Bum, bum, bum.
What does that mean?
Oh, there's a dead one.
Yeah. Killed by the Barrow Wights. That's tragic. You're a creature or a race that could like live forever and you get got. That's awful.
You could look at it the other way too, which is like he's already been around for a couple thousand years. These are the guys who should go. Like poor little people, poor little orcs. They have very short lives.
That's true.
Relatively speaking.
Yeah.
So as with all great fantasy stories, The Lord of the Rings can be seen as a commentary on the real world. In the original Lord of the Rings book, the Rings of Power and how people use them act as commentary on how we use modern technology for good and for evil, in the real world.
That's very true. I feel like that's how it is for all good like fantasy and sci-fi, is they're always about our world in some way. But to drive that point home, it's important to know that the Lord of the Rings stories are inspired by JRR Tolkien's experiences in World War One. We've actually included a link in the confirmation window below to an interview where he talks more about that.
Yeah, World War One was kind of the second big mechanized war, and the biggest one, by far. The first one being the Civil War had a lot of those early technologies.
Yeah.
But World War One, it was like airplanes and tanks, chemical weapons. I mean, they were really like starting to use their technology to see how many people they could kill at one time.
Oh, God.
So not good.
Yeah, no.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember hearing like people talking about how like, and I learned this in like classes when they were talking about how like just with all, I mean, and yet we see it sort of in the show where it's like you cannot even imagine what that is, because this is like the first time that tech has been used, and now we know. And now I'm sure that they're finding out about the Rings of Power, like how powerful they are. But
yeah, Trish and I remember. Yeah. And then the Spanish flu. It was horrible. But we did have jazz.
Let there be jazz, yes.
Let there be jazz. And here, I guess the equivalent is the walking song. Uh-oh.
Drums.
He's like, sorry, I got distracted. I heard a sick drum solo.
So drums in the woods, there are the wild men in the books. They didn't show it in the movie, where the Rohirrim make a pact with them, and the wild men lead them to Minas Tirith, where they can go and fight against the orcs.
Oh.
I wonder if that's kind of what that reference is there too, because these are the kind of the wild men in some sense.
Maybe. That'd be exciting. I wouldn't put it past them to include another. Oh, so before the action picks up again, we're going to take another look at our leaderboard. Remember, if you're enjoying today's show, we have a whole bunch of other play-along episodes to do. We have the previous 3 episodes of Rings of Power Season 2. We have a bunch of episodes from Season 1. And we're releasing new episodes every week as new episodes come out. Never too much Rings of Power.
Yeah, Trisha's getting pretty fast.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I see you climbing up the leaderboard.
Well, there is so much, to be done. We got obviously Rings of Power. We got all the Lord of the Rings movies. We got to do Star Wars. We got to do all the Scooby-Doos. Johnny Quest. That's sci-fi.
Yeah.
The Highlander.
Oh, the Highlander is so much to be done. There's the movies, 6. Greatest movie of all time. The most unappreciated movie.
Believe that.
Wait till you see it. We're watching it.
Yeah.
But they also did a television series. There's thousands of them.
Oh, that's a weird camera angle.
Ooh.
Oh, put it down.
Drop the chainsaw.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh.
All right. God. I don't think you're getting up from that.
No, she is done.
Whoa.
She just got what's up with these movies and TV shows and characters literally getting flung like 700 feet and then being like, oh, ow, I hurt a little bit. My back would be broken.
Yeah, so now we've met Barrow Wights, Tom Bombadil, and the first Entwife in Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
The Entwives, they're basically female Ents. And Trish, I know what you're thinking. Really? This is the first time that we're meeting a woman tree? But there's a whole backstory about this in canon. It's actually very exciting to deep fans to see the Entwives, because their absence gets talked about in the books in like a pretty significant way. It's the great sadness of the Ents.
Exactly. Well, speaking of the great sadness of the Ents, fans were asking you, what does Fangorn say happened to the Entwives? Were they all burned down? Maybe they all left and became lost sort of in the world? Were they all chopped down? Or did they all become lanternflies? Select your answer down below and we'll reveal the answer in a few seconds.
Yeah, lanternflies can be very devastating to trees.
Yeah.
I can't you believe that you didn't phrase it as they were asked to leave. Cannot believe you missed that.
All right.
Awkward.
Rewind. Make like an Entwife and leaf.
Well, turns out we are leafing this question, but before we do, just know that the Entwives all left and they were lost to the world. Their ultimate fate, I think, is still a mystery, but that's sort of what happens and how they get separated.
Specifically, he says they were lost.
Yes.
And whenever anybody says anything else, he says, I didn't say that they, were infested by lanternflies. I just said that we lost them.
Mm.
Yeah.
That wasn't a very good Ent accent. Harumph.
Is she like a cherry tree? Or like a winter type tree?
Looks like it. Most flowers,
Yeah.
they look kind of wintry. Well, if she's not a cherry tree, she might be any number of other trees that bloom in winter or winter trees. We're asking you fans to name as many of those as you can. Of course, we just mentioned cherry tree, but there's quite a few others out there.
Oh.
Wow, this is really like an out of the box kind of question. But cherries do bloom like they're the first tree at the end of winter, or the last tree at the end of winter. But anyway, I look forward to them every year. I love them.
Same.
This is my day for trivia. That's all I got to say.
You think trees are trivial? Where would we be without trees?
Yeah. Trish, did you watch the scene that just happened? We need the trees. We got to protect the trees.
Of course, for many reasons, yes.
Yeah. I feel like
What's the name of that Dr. Seuss character who protects the trees?
The Lorax.
The Lorax.
So
speak for the trees.
Arondir is like the Lorax of elves. He's promised to protect them.
Well, that's sad though, because we know that he doesn't really. Because we know that the Entwives get lost.
You know what? Hold that thought. We don't know what's going to happen. I'm telling you that these writers have been so skilled in terms of like weaving new tales within the gaps left by the original canon. So
okay.
I'll hold. Well, in the meantime,
don't be hasty.
Don't be. Well, in the meantime, time is up on that question. The possible answers we accepted are magnolia tree, cherry tree, dogwood tree, crabapple tree, fringe tree, or red maple tree.
And that's her name.
Crabapple.
That's her name is Winter Tree.
Oh,
Is
I
it?
didn't catch that. That's so cute.
That was the basis of this question.
Ah.
It breaks my wooden heart. My heart would.
Oh.
Well, while we watched the Arondir and Theo sort of make up a little bit, let's take a quick look at our leaderboard so we can sort of check in, mellow out after that devastating revelation that Estrid has taken. Wait, what does that mean? What are they separating?
Yeah. What the what?
Well, aren't they in Pelagar?
They're close
Pelican?
by. Yeah, that was the city that they were in,
Oh,
Pelargir. But I don't know. See how Theo is the Lord.
Hmm.
I
nepotism.
need more.
Exactly.
I don't think it's a mistake.
Ooh.
No. I feel like he needs a win. This is terrifying.
Yeah.
That many orcs?
Urch.
Uh-oh. Well. True.
It's like,
Yeah. Uh-oh. They've been found. Or maybe not.
Oh. Back in line.
yeah, the orcs are low key the part that you want to be in the show, being able to really like camp up all your lines. The
Oh,
most
yeah.
fun.
Oh, for sure. I mean, since that's the case, one actor is having the time of his life. Robert Strange, who plays the orc called Sméagol in this scene, not the guy who said back in line, but the guy who was shooting the arrow. He also plays another orc named Glug, who fans will remember as the orc with the orc baby in episode 3.
He also was a Barrow Wight. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, he's got all the fun parts.
Yeah. Now you talk about like an actor with range.
Mm-hmm. Wow, he can like
If
take
it's
his head
covered in
off.
mucus and dripping blood, it's like you got like call Bob.
Exactly. He's good.
Uh-oh.
So the ring healed him?
I think so.
Yes.
Whoa. That's powerful.
Take it.
Really?
Marry me.
Romeo, take me.
I haven't told. Right. Man flesh.
Uh-oh. Where's the rest?
Yeah, so much for like the happy little orc
Yeah.
families.
Oh my.
Oh,
Go girl.
oh, go. Go.
Only elves.
Exactly. She's eating them up. Wow. Look at her go. Oh my god.
Ooh.
Could be the best
Ooh.
elf shot of all time.
I was going to say, that's good. She would make a killing in the Elf Olympics. That's like 3 different skills right there.
We should just use it. Like from now on, whenever somebody says something amazing, you just go, dude, that is just elf archery.
That's elf archery.
Yeah.
I like it.
No.
Rude.
And he didn't say that in a positive way.
No, he didn't.
No.
It's like Gollum holding up the ring as he sinks into the hot lava. All he wanted to do was save the ring. That's the way I interpret this.
Yeah.
It's her precious.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, he ate. Wow. There you go. That's a good ending. Uh-huh. Well, now that we've reached the end of the episode, we can take a look at our prediction activities from the beginning of the episode. First, of course, we have our death count. If you've been keeping count, you know that there were 12 deaths, one elf, and then in that last scene, 11 orcs, all got by Galadriel. Next, we asked how many new creatures we meet in this episode. We have Barrow Wights, we have the creature in the muck, and the tree trap monster. We have 3. And finally, now that we've finished all of the activities for today's show, there's one last thing to do, and that's check on our leaderboard. I feel like this episode, it felt very heavy on like the fan service. I mean, there were so many beloved characters, so many creatures that we met, and Galadriel killing all those orcs. I mean, I was getting giddy myself.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And it totally worked. I loved every second of this episode, and I'm excited for what they're going to bring next, like more of what we fans want.
I know, same. This episode really was great because it was like a little bit of whimsy, a little bit intense. Loved it.
Exactly. You have to have you have to touch the intensity before you can get to the whimsy.
Good point.
Well, viewers, thank you so much for watching and playing along with us today. I had an absolute blast.
Yeah, check out play.beontheair.com to play along with your favorite shows and movies, including Rings of Power seasons 1 and 2.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can play along with us as each new episode of season 2 comes out. Until next time, I'm Trish here with JJ and Keith, and we can't wait to see you on TV.
Bye, everyone.